Finding it completely ironical that for a newspaper wala, there's so many newspaper walas here, actually shooting at him, asking him questions. To start with, fight. From export to newspapers and became one of the most celebrated crime writers, crime reporters. And he's worked with Indian Express, Midday, DNA also? Oh, no DNA, sorry. Anyway, he's the editor of Asian Age right here in Bombay.
Mafia Queen, I'll just say brief thing about this, why I chose the subject. Because everyone say that it's an era of dons, it's the era of underworld, it's the era of men. Why women? You know, we all, pardon me, these are not my opinion, but when we all think of women criminals, we think about some kleptomaniac shoplifters who are like in compulsive habit of lifting from the shops, or some very villainous mother-in-laws who will set their daughter-in-laws ablaze for dowry, or such other crimes. We will never associate Indian women with organized crimes. This was one notion which I wanted to break, that women are more than shapely legs and beautiful curves. And I thought that it will be no other way to tell this but to tell the story about how ruthless, cunning, daredevil and plotting women criminals can be. You know, just one short story about Lakshmi Thakur. Lakshmi Thakur was a very high society bawdilo madam running her racket from the bungalows in Malabar Hill. Her victims were very rich, spoiled brats from the area who needed one night stand or just quick fun. This woman started filming their orgies and whatever they were doing, and when they were through and they want to leave, pay her off, she used to say that this is not enough, I deserve more. And thus she started blackmailing these people. The racket became absolutely rampant, but nobody could touch her because she had held the collars of the sons of the most powerful politicians and business tycoons in the city.
It is such a fascinating book, and the stories are so engrossing. And you know, when I started reading it, and Hussain had sent me on my email, and I read a few stories, and I realized that how cinematic his writing is. But I never expected. I thought okay, Mafia Queens. It really fascinates. The title is so charming that you want to read the Mafia Queens of Mumbai. But when I started reading the book, and I realized how engrossing, how cinematic his writing has been, and in fact, I got confused that which one should I ask for, to get the rights to make a film on. And finally, I made my call, and here comes our queen of the evening, Rani. Please. So the stories are so fascinating and they're so cinematic. So I actually blackmailed Hussain that unless you give me the right of this particular story, I'm not going to write anything. And soon I can see now, because his writing is so cinematic, I can see him writing a screenplay soon. And I think one day Hussain is going to direct a film also. I can feel that after reading his stories. So thanks Hussain, because this kind of detailed, researched, true life stories we don't get to read in our literature. It's a literary work, I say. We don't get to.
No, but I think it's interesting to read stories like that which are real and to really know what really happens in the heartland of our city, because it's for writers like him.
So Jyoti wasn't expecting me, and I didn't know what to expect of Jyoti. But when I went there, I went into a small chhopri. This woman comes in out of the cab, and she stares at me. I introduce myself as a social worker. She doesn't believe me, but she doesn't say anything. She comes and goes and sleeps on the bed. And for the next 10 minutes, there's absolute silence. Jyoti's looking at me, I'm looking at Jyoti, there's no response. She's trying to intimidate me, but I was a little scared then, but it was like a small game that she was playing. She was doing her job, trying to scare me, and I was there sitting and a little bit rigid about not moving from there. And finally she spoke. And she says, you're not a social worker, you're from the media, you've come to disclose what I've been doing, but yeah, I don't sell drugs anymore and I've been tortured, and she went on. But the entire process of how a mafia woman treats other people, it's very interesting now that I think about it in hindsight.